I'm ready to speak up and speak out. Um, so this is about my job and everything that I have had to endure in my job since I started. The bigger part of it is I was injured at my job and I have had no services for 7 months since my injury. I was denied workers' comp and sent to the Ohio Commission and have been given court date after court date after court date after court date after court date. And they have been canceled. I was told I needed to get a lawyer. I got a lawyer. When you go into a lawyer's office and you're sitting with a lawyer and they're making you feel so encouraged and confident that they'll take your case and that they have your back. Yeah, that happened one day. And then after that, I didn't feel that anymore. Discouraged. Because everything became a question about me. And it seemed like the lawyer was losing whatever it is they're supposed to have for their client. Even though everything that I've said is true, it was like doubt, like you're questioning me. And then when I went to question him, it almost seemed like he got offended when I should be able to question my lawyer because my lawyer is on my side, right? Okay, right. So anyway, moving forward with that, the injury is one part of it all. And then there was these attacks that came on me at my job. The first attack happened by a gentleman who works there in leadership. The second attack happened after that was cleared up, I thought, by a woman who works there in leadership. And her attack came, it was crazy aggressive. It came in front of the whole floor store, as I work in a grocery store, supermarket. And then it continued when I was called to a meeting room, conference room. The aggressive behavior continued in front of myself and 3 other women, all leads. One was a union rep. They seemed frazzled by her behavior. She was punching her hand. This video recording that I will play, where she threatened me. She degraded me. And I cannot believe that after threatening to attack me, take off her uniform and leave, she was given her job back. And I witnessed that when I went to the store to shop at another store just recently and saw her there working. She was given her job back after threatening me, after threatening physical harm on me, after cussing at me, and after doing this in front of other store leaders who literally saw it. Now, a month and a half maybe later, I was in the same store and I was threatened again by a customer who had 2 other people with her. I called for help. I called for security. I was threatened. I was shaken. I was afraid. I didn't know if these women were going to attack me. I yelled for the security officer because these security officers are never doing what they're supposed to do at this store. If they're not in their phone, they're outside. If they're not outside, they're in an apartment they shouldn't be in. If they're not in an apartment they shouldn't be in, They're watching movies on their phone, just not available in some cases, or just not paying attention, looking down, just not paying attention, not doing what I feel a security guard should be hired to do. So there was no one there to assist and help me. So in that moment, I said, "Ain't this a bitch?" And because of that word that I said in that moment, after I called for help, 2 days later, I was suspended. That was in April of 2026, on the 23rd day. This is June the 27th. Today's June the 27th, 2026. I am supported by the union, and I was called in for a meeting. Meeting one, my case was heard after I filed a grievance to be made whole, to be given my job back. They rejected it. So I had to wait, and I waited, and I waited, and I waited, and I waited. And finally, I was told that there would be a meeting 2 on June the 9th. So meeting 2, I showed up again. The first meeting, when I showed up, everybody was late. These are supposed to be professional leaders. The second meeting I showed up, everybody was late except for the HR rep, who was actually a little late, but she showed up before everyone else, introduced herself, and then walked back out. After that meeting, where I expressed myself about everything that I felt, the targeting, the bias, the discrimination, the targeting. Did I say that already? Everything that I had to endure. Not only that, there's new supervisors and new leaders here. And in the very beginning, one of them introduced herself to me, looking me dead in my face, shaking my hand, and saying, "I will take care of this problem." After that, we sat down in the office with him and another leader, had a conversation, and he heard my story, and that is actually when the suspension happened for the first person. However, that person, again, like I said, has been given their job back at a different location, and that is a supervisor who threatened me, who cussed me, who I have a recording of, who worked at this store for many years, from what I understand. And I was then told that because of seniority, this might go in her favor. This is what I was told then. I also have that on record. I have not been able to pay a bill. I have not been able to pay for anything that I had after the last week that I worked. I have had to call for assistance. I am being made to feel like I'm being punished for doing my job, calling someone out because they were attempting to shoplift. And when they got mad and they didn't like my response, they disrespected me in the store where I worked and then threatened to do physical harm to me. And when I felt threatened, afraid, feared for my safety, I blurted out, and then I was accused of calling this person a bitch, which I did not do. And then I was suspended. I did not stand in this person's face and threaten to do physical harm to them. I did not stand in their face and degrade them as I was degraded. I did not beat my fists in their face. I was not treated fairly. I was not treated the same, given the same. I was not treated the same. I don't feel like I'm being treated the same. I feel like because I was brought into this company and I was informed after the fact that there were things said in good standing about me, I think that was used against me later because someone said, we got a good woman coming, a strong woman coming, a hard worker coming. People didn't take that and consider that I'm coming to do a good job. But instead, they saw me and became offended. And it became a competition. It became a tug of war. I became the target. Now I'm fighting for my position because you got a problem with me. You got a problem with me. You don't even know if you should have a problem with me. You don't know if you should have a problem with me. You don't have a problem with me, but you following suit. You and I are good. You and I are good. And because you and I are good, they're trying to be good. Then you and I are good, and they really are not good with me, but they're trying to be good with me because you're good with me. But you really got a problem. But for what? You won't speak. You won't speak. You won't speak. But I come and speak to everybody. I smile all the time. I'm always greeting people. But if I have a bad day, then I'm mad. I'm angry. I'm upset. But if y'all have a bad day, it's just brushed off. If y'all cuss and y'all are on the floor, it's just brushed off. If I happen to say something, it's paid attention to and reported. But I've never been written up. I've never been late. I've never done anything but stand up for myself as a Black woman who feels she should be treated fair in the workplace. And that is what I thought the core values were about. But to be mistreated by many people in a company where they say once you are hired, we're family, and there's dysfunction here, that's not okay. Because this is first a company. It is not a family. It is first a company where people need to be treated with respect. People need to be treated with equality. People need to be treated with dignity. People need to be treated with care, concern, everything that is under that realm. Disabilities need to be respected. I have a disability, but my disability is not like the other guy who comes in and his head is down, and then when he looks up, he may be drooling. My disability is not coming in here and my pants hanging off of me and you can see the crack of my butt and somebody has to repeatedly tell me to pull my pants up or shouting out or making loud noises, and I'm supposed to be where I'm supposed to be, and I have to be told repeatedly, repetitively to get on my job and be in my position, and I can walk around saying, well, I'm never going to get fired. I witnessed all of this. I witnessed all of this. And one person gets treated completely different than the next person. I witnessed the person who claims to have reported me saying that I called someone out of their name, disrespecting a customer, verbally, never reported. If I knew I was a target, I would have reported them. If I knew it was going to come to this, I would have. But what do I look like doing that? But at the same time, I thought, if we're a family, why wouldn't you have my back? If you knew somebody was trying to attack me and you knew that I was afraid, why wouldn't you stand in favor of me? Instead, you're standing in favor of a customer who's stealing, almost condoning that that's what they're doing, almost saying it's okay that you were trying to take this, but now she done called you a bitch when she really didn't, but you just threatened her. And ma'am, you can't threaten our workers. You got to leave the store. I didn't get that. I got leave the area. So I left the area and got security and came back to try and do my job. But then I was told that I kept coming in the area. No, I didn't keep coming in the area. I came to my area to do my job. The person had already left and was at the customer service desk. So how am I in the area? I'm not talking to them. They had went and got their mom, called their mom, and all that. You come in, all this in the store where you was trying to steal. And all I was trying to do was my job. And I got suspended. And I've been suspended now for over 2 months with no pay. After 2 meetings. And now, since the 9th of June, I've waited to hear after the last meeting with the HR rep to find out, am I going to be moved to another store? Am I going to be given everything that I deserve and made whole? Or do you really just treat people who are really hard workers, who try and care enough about your company like this, but then you take and treat the other people who have treated people far worse, you treat them better? Because it almost seems like the supervisor who disrespected and mistreated me is being treated better than I was treated when I didn't do worse than she did. Not to mention my disability. My disability stems from a life of abuse. They call it PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. But mine comes with SPTSD, which is considered severe post-traumatic stress disorder. Hence why I've had a counselor, a therapist, for many years, every week, sometimes twice a week. Because at some point in my life, it was very difficult to function because of what I was dealing with, because I didn't know how to move and navigate through certain things and be around certain people, because of the trauma that I went through. Now, as I've gotten older, the anxiety of it all bears down on me. So I have to take the medicine to keep me calm, to help relax me. But if something happens in a moment that triggers me, I could black out. Anything can happen that I would have no control over, because my mind is fighting with not being traumatized and trying to protect me. And that's what happened on that day. But no one's considering my disability. No one's considering how I was treated. No one's considering that after I was assaulted by a supervisor, that same supervisor came to the same place I work came to the same area that I work and taunted me. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. And one of those times, I literally had to remove myself. Saw one of my leaders close by and said, "Is this okay? How is this okay?" I was visibly shaken and had to be removed from the floor and call my therapist and take some medicine. I was not okay because this person threatened physical harm on me and was allowed to walk right back up into my immediate space with a taunting look on her face, as if to say, "What? I'm here. What you gonna do? I'm gonna get you. And there's nothing I can do about it because I'm at work and this is what's supposed to be my job. And at my job, I'm supposed to call security." But no one made me feel safe. And then after that, because of the injury that I have sustained at my job and the pain that I have been in day after day after day after day, and the lack of sleep and everything that puts on you, my blood pressure went up. My blood pressure got so bad on different occasions that I had to be seated at my job on the floor. I had to go to the pharmacy to have my blood pressure taken, when at one instant they almost had to call the squad. But then it happened and I almost hit the floor and a customer grabbed me and they had me in a chair. And next thing you know, there was a squad and I was at the hospital because my blood pressure was 200, over 200. I was at stroke level because I was in so much pain because of the stress of everything that I was dealing with. No one even understood that because of the lack of sleep. And then they put me on pain meds. So now I'm on pain meds trying to work. And I'm loopy, so I'm goofy. And I'm at work. And I said, I never want to do that again because it didn't make me feel good. It made me feel awkward. So this day I was picked up and taken to the hospital. I wasn't on pain medicine, but I was off work for a week after that. I came back, and 2 days into my job, 2 days, while I'm still trying to have the medicine enter my system properly, because it takes up to a certain amount of time to keep my blood pressure down. 2 days, I'm at work, and they come through my line, and she doesn't scan the products, and she's trying to scan 2 products at once, 2 times, and it dinged for me, and I went over. "Ma'am, if you would just scan your products, please. Just make sure you scan everything one at a time." Her attitude became present. Then she scanned a very big $17 or $18 bag of sugar, and there was a bigger bag of Iams dog food that cost probably $50, and she only scanned one thing at the bottom of the cart. So now you're trying to hide that you didn't scan it because of your body and how people maneuver around. And I'm steadily looking, seeing that you still haven't scanned it. And I'm just, okay, I'll wait. And so as I'm waiting and I'm looking, she continues to get more agitated with me and then questions how I'm doing my job and why I'm standing there looking at her. Well, this is what people who are shoplifting does. I've experienced it. You're trying to question me to make me feel uncomfortable so that I will stop paying attention to you. No, that's not going to happen. I may step back a little bit, but I'm going to continue to pay attention to you. I may move another area, but I'm still going to pay attention to you. I may help another customer, but I'm still going to come back to you. And that's exactly what happened. It dinged me again. And I came back to her and I said, ma'am, did you scan your dog food? And then she wants to tell me how she worked for Kroger's and this, that, and the third. Ma'am, I'm sorry, but I just need to make sure that you scanned everything. And she continues to be belligerent, disrespectful. Help, can you come here? Can you come here? I'm trying to explain this to the floral guy, the tall, very tall floral guy, black guy with long hair, who I thought was a runner on this particular day, because I tried to congratulate him about his new position and he blew me off. But I felt there was already something with him because he's on a few different days blew me off and acted a certain way as if I owed him something. And so I've had conversations with him about his behavior towards me a couple of different times. And so I feel like maybe that was a problem. But on this day, yes, he was put into a different position and I asked him about it and he got offended. And so now I'm calling him for help because the person I would have called had left about 10 minutes before. So I couldn't call her because I definitely would have. And in that case, it was the absolute wrong thing to do because this person literally used everything that happened against me. He helped this woman. He did not help me. He did not have my back. He lied on me. He said that I called her a bitch after the fact, but on that particular day, he said he heard the word bitch, and he said this in front of a leader and a store front leader and in front of me. And that is recorded because I cannot deal with people who are not honest, and sometimes you have to have proof. And so I get proof. So it was a lie. And then I went to work. I'm sorry, I was off the next day. I went back to work a day after that, and I was at work for 3 hours, about 3 hours. Called up to the office on the leader's birthday, the new leader's birthday, and union rep sitting in the office with me. I was asked what happened, and as soon as I got to the part where I said, bitch, the hand went down, slam on the table, you swore on the floor, and it's almost like that's the only thing that was heard and nothing else. And it was like, you're suspended. Do you want to sign? And I was told I don't have to sign. And immediately after that, I was told to go file a grievance. I went to file a grievance immediately. And then I waited. I waited and I waited. And then I finally heard something from someone. And that's when the process began. I was then told when the process began that because of what happened with me and the supervisor, this might be used against me in some way or another. But how? Because I didn't do anything wrong. So how could it be used against me when someone came up against me? I didn't come up against them. They came up against me when I was doing my job. And how can you be so mad with somebody who's doing their job that you attack them like this? I'm just waiting for a response. And so now, on June the 27th, Saturday, 2026, I've waited since June the 9th, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. That's 18 days. So let's take out the weekends. 2 days, 2 days. How many days is that? 14? 14 days. So I've waited literally 14 days since the 9th. And I would say there's been 2 weekends since the 9th with no word from the union on my job, being made whole, moving to another position at another store, I've heard nothing. And it shouldn't be because someone's having a procedure. It shouldn't be because someone's off work. It should be because everyone is being professional and considering everything that should be considered when you are doing the job that you are given. And you are treating everyone fairly. This is why my anxiety is so high. And I continue to feel like I am being targeted. Was the supervisor given her job back and made whole? Was the supervisor given her job back and made whole and allowed to go back to work? Was she able to pay her bills and take care of everything she needed because she has seniority because she's been there a long time? That shouldn't have anything to do with core values when it is stated and said that there is no violent behavior. Different from the fact that many people have cussed and got their job back. But did you cuss, simply cuss, or did you cuss at someone in a threatening way? Did you cuss at someone in a threatening way while using a physical symbol of fighting? Did you cuss at someone in a threatening way while using a symbol of violence, while saying you would leave the company after you beat the hell out of them or attacked them or did physical harm to them? Is it okay to degrade someone, demean someone in the way that I was degraded in this woman's eyes, in front of other women who were supposed to stop her, quite possibly, especially the head woman? Y'all can't tell me that this is okay. How has this affected me? Well, what happens when you don't pay your bills? I've been in my home 19 years. I've never been at the threat of being put out. I've never not been able to pay my bills. I've always had 2 or 3 jobs, but I have an injury. It's called a rotator cuff tear. It happened on aisle 9 while working the week of December 26, 2025, as a cashier, pulling groceries from the belt, assembly line belt, as they teach you to do, to your middle, to push it with your left, pull it from the right, bring it to your middle, push it to the left. And I was doing that. And it's at a certain amount of speed because there's a numbers thing there on the computer and it's timing you. And that's what I was told when I first started. So I'm thinking, let me keep up my time. Let me keep my numbers down because that's how you're going to continuously keep on working. That's how they're going to score you or whatever the case may be, you know. So I'm thinking, okay, well, I'm doing a good job because I got it. I'm moving. And then, what in the world is that? Something happened. Okay. Well, you know me, I'm going to try and keep working. So I tried to keep working and it kept hurting. And the next day, same thing. I just started. So I'm going to try and keep working. But it got to the point where I couldn't take it anymore. So I ended up at the hospital. And you're like, something ain't right. We need to get a look at this, a better look. Okay, a better look was a tear in my damn shoulder. Steroids and pain pills later. Like, what? I never had a problem before this. And all I did was file workers' comp. Workers' comp denied me. So now I'm battling with just trying to have surgery because they said that's what I need. So in the process of that, I'm in so much pain. I'm barely sleeping. I can't find another job. And I've never filed unemployment. And I thought that was if you were unemployed. But I'm suspended, which still means under the umbrella, I'm still employed. So how could I receive unemployment? I'm not laid off. I'm not unemployed. So that to me is like, wow. But then I'm told, well, we have organizations and options that will help you. Okay, well, let's find out what they can do. And one of them helped me. Then they wanted to send me to a pantry. Then they wanted to see if this place could, and no, because I don't have children. I don't have minors. So I was literally just left to fend for myself, aside from a couple of utilities that were able to be paid because they have an organization that helps you pay that if you work for them. And I appreciate that. But it's only for one time. I've been off 2 months and bills come every month, one time. Every month, one time. Rent comes every month, one time. You have rent, you have electric, you have gas, you have water. I have a car payment. I have insurance. I have other insurance. I have other insurance. I have a phone. I need gas in my car. Gotta have food. Gotta have the necessities. Rent. So I'm like $1,800, $2,200 behind right now. With no options to call. And it's okay. I'm calling on Jesus. Because only He can fix this. But how long do I have to wait? I've been waiting. I've been waiting. I've been waiting. And at some point, you get tired of waiting for what you feel is unfair treatment. And I did that some years ago. And I began to fight back. And that is the only way you will be treated fairly, is when you stand up for yourself and fight back. And so here I am, standing up for myself against a company and people who seem to not care about one individual who did nothing wrong, but tried to stand up for herself on many occasions in a place where people targeted me for just being present, for just being there, for just having an appearance, for just having a personality. I was targeted. I was made to feel like shit. I was threatened, and then I was removed. And I feel like it was a part of the plan after the supervisor was suspended, because it was the talk of the store. It was the talk of the store. And these people who targeted me were her friends. And I almost feel like they said, well, just give it some time. We're going to get her out. And this guy in the floral department was her buddy. So for him to have this mark check that he did this, I'm sure they had drinks or coffee or tea and laughed about how, yeah, I got her out after I lied on her. But this is the thing. I never lied on anybody. I never attacked anyone. I never punched my fists in anyone's face in the eyes of witnesses, threatening anyone to make them feel afraid, frightened, little, less than. I never did that. I never threatened anybody in any type of a way and held my position over them. I never used my title in words as it was against me. Never. I never did that. I never lied. I did stand up for myself. I did speak up when I was treated unfairly. I did give reports about how I was treated. I did sit in a room and try and rectify the mistreatment. I did show up for work every single day. I did show up for work on time. I did do my job. I did record when I felt like I would need this as proof. Because today, people lie and they get away with it when you don't have proof. Even sometimes when you do have proof, they get away with it. Case in point, I have proof that the supervisor physically threatened me with intent. With intent. Using words that she should not have used. And now listen to this. I sent this information to HR, to 3 different people that I found in my informations, in my app. 3 different HRs, 3 different HR representatives for this company. The reason why I have not mentioned this company yet is because this will become legal at some point. And I need to go by this the correct way. And I don't need to say anything that might come back on me. I will tell the story. I will not use a name. I will not give you any names. But I will speak about exactly what happened. I will not tell you where this is, but I will speak about exactly what happened. And when it comes out, I will tell you exactly where this is. I will give you exact names. And I hope that it will be on the news, and I hope that a lawyer picks it up, because I'm tired of this treatment. I've never missed a car payment. I'm 2 months behind. My rent, there's no assistance for me. They say if you have a child under 18, Job and Family Services will help you. I do not have a child under 18. I am not old enough to receive whatever the benefits may be for whatever. I've called about funds. There are no funds available. When you come from a family who are strugglers, who meet check to check, who do you call? So this is where I am. I'm telling my story because I'm tired of being quiet. I'm tired of the mistreatment. And I'm not going to stop until I'm heard. So get ready, because this is just the beginning.